Twice, as a student of Ebenezer, how can you personally contribute to keeping the momentum of faith and excellence in our school? Again, as a student of Ebenezer, how can you personally contribute to keeping the momentum of faith and excellence in our school?
In Ebenezer, I know my life is not perfect. I know my life is not always consistent, like what we have right now, the momentum. But before I would start with my life, I would somehow give an idea at what's the history of Ebenezer. Because I love our class before in Alliance History Distinctive. In that history, it says that in 1903, Ebenezer was established in Tiguan by Reverend and Mrs. David Owen. They established Ebenezer School for Girls. And in 1920, there was a person named Reverend Macmillan who started Ebenezer School for Boys. And in 1925, there was a person, Reverend Robert A. Jaffray, who was assigned here in the Philippines to make a Bible institute or make a Bible seminary for the Filipinos to be part of the gospel or to be part of the advancement of God's kingdom, especially in the southeast part of the peninsula. And that's why Ebenezer was being merged. Ebenezer School for Boys and Girls was being merged and it became a Bible Institute. And you know what? From time to time, Ebenezer grew. It's like a momentum. A momentum has a force and a momentum has a direction. Now, we knew and we can attest, I can attest, that Ebenezer never fails to equip leaders as a catalyst of Christ in society. And as an Ebenezerian, I've been into that. For my personal experience, I think that the driving force or the driving force for this momentum is Christ's life, death, and resurrection. Because in the first place, I am called for a greater purpose. And if the driving force is Christ's life, death, and resurrection, and then what is it for me? So, my goal is to carry out that momentum. How? How would I carry out that momentum? First, I have this idea. I need to be transformed holistically. What does it mean? Well, we know in Ebenezer, we need to transform our mind, our heart, and our skills. Why? We need to transform our mind here at Ebenezer. I know it's not because of our own capabilities, but it is the working of God in our lives, in my life. I need to work out my mind. Why? How can I carry out momentum without learning, without striving and academic excellence, striving hard to know God? And number two, the heart. How can I become a blessing to the society if my character has a problem? And number three, the skills. How can I represent Christ? How can I deal with problems, technicalities without skills. That's why I am here to learn to be transformed by God. And number two, before that, I have a problem with the transformation. I know my momentum somehow stopped, somehow slowed down. In 2023, I got disciplined. Because it's part of the transformation of God. And that discipline got me slowed down. I went out in the wilderness, outside the campus. I thought I could go back here. But you know what? Even in those moments, I realized God's grace is sufficient. His loving kindness is truly reliable. It's my driving force, it's my motivation. That's why I got back. And another one is this. If I am transformed, what should I do? Well, as an Ebenezer, I need to carry out it to the next generation. Now, the momentum doesn't talk only about the past, but it also talks about the present and to the coming future. So what should I do? So I need to carry out that driving force. And I need to pass it on to the next generation. How? To study well. To become a blessing to the community. To be disciplined by God. I know it's hard. Personally, it's hard. It's impossible. But by God's grace, by God's loving kindness, I can attest that God is here. God indeed has helped us, has helped me. The Lord is my soul of help. He is my Ebenezer. He is my God who brings me to carry out from that dimension. So I believe momentum, the driving force for momentum is Christ's life, death, and resurrection. And my goal as a believer is to carry out that to the next generation. Again, momentum, the driving force for momentum is Christ's life, death, and resurrection. And my goal as an Ebenezer is to carry it out to the next generation. It's only God. Because if I don't carry out that momentum, who? So I need to carry it out. Because their institution fails to be consistent. The momentum fails because it is man-made. But we know